Estos son mis abuelos, Lawrence O'Grant, o Larry y Inés Marmostin. Ellos viven ahora en Chicago, pero cuando eran pequeños vivían Inés en Evanston, un pueblo de Chicago, y Larry en Detroit. Los dos vienen de familias judías y siguen practicando sus tradiciones. Se conocieron porque Larry vivía en el piso del primo de Inés, y un día los dos coincidieron en una fiesta en el mismo piso, y desde entonces se han querido mucho y han vivido muy felices.
My father died when I was 10 years old, so that was very sad, but I had a big family, lots of aunts and uncles and cousins, so that helped me have a basically happy childhood.
I had a fortunate childhood. My parents both worked. I have a brother and a sister. We had a nice house in the city.
11:41 a.m.
We had a summer cottage on a lake, and we spent the summers out there water skiing and having a good time. We didn't really lack anything. It's just when I was young, I didn't realize how lucky I was, but I was lucky.
No, I think the teenage years are very stressful and dramatic, and they're tough, lots of emotion.
I don't miss my life as a teenager at all. It's a difficult, challenging time in life. You have friends, you don't have friends. It's challenging. I wouldn't want to go back there, not at all.
I suppose having babies, that's what I did in the 70s.
I miss the 70s a lot because I had a beautiful young wife. I had 3 beautiful children. We lived in a beautiful 3-flat. We were both working. Our lives were full and interesting, and it was a really nice time of life. I liked it a lot.
Yes, they were very different, and things like the Vietnam War and all kinds of different political administrations and things that happen that the world is affected by changed the United States dramatically.
The biggest change that I see is that information is universal now. Back in those days, there were 3 or 4 broadcast sources and several newspapers that kept us updated with the news. Now everybody and anything can be a news broadcaster, and it's very confusing because it's hard to separate lies from truth these days.
I was happy when Sarah decided to move to Spain. She had been sad because her brother died, and she wanted something different. And I knew this would be different, and my sister was there, and she spoke Spanish a little. And Spain at that time was a very exciting place to be. A lot of things had freed up, and I felt that she would have a good life there, and she did.
I was sorry to see her go because it's a whole ocean away, but I knew it was important for her to deal with her grief and to focus on her future. But I'm also grateful that we now have a Spanish family, and we have really important reasons to travel there. We've been to Spain more than any other foreign country, and we like it very much.
I suppose being a young adult, young parents, young workers with good health, a sense of adventure, and a sense of hope for the future is a very good time in a person's life.
Seems like every stage of life has its benefits and its appeal. I liked being a young father and a young husband, but I loved seeing my kids grow up to be such decent, loving adults. And now that we have grandchildren, we're going through the same cycle again. And I'm really into it. I like it very much.
It's always been tough for women. There are always hurdles and things that you have to get around, and that hasn't changed, I don't think. It's just different.
Well, I think the fortunes of women have changed. When my mother was young, the only professions available to women were teaching and nursing. Now women can be lawyers and doctors and politicians, all sorts of stuff. It doesn't mean that they're completely equal and completely free, but great advances have been made in my lifetime, and I think we'll keep moving forward, although there's much more to be done.
I don't think our childhoods were different because we grew up in different places. Detroit and Chicago were close enough and similar enough, but economic circumstances were different. So I think that affected our childhood's differences much more than the specific places where we grew up.
I agree with Grandma on that. The places weren't as significant as the difference in economic opportunity. As I said on the earlier question, I didn't realize how fortunate I was until I was able to look back at it all. That's how I feel.
Well, for his words and his life story, definitely Abraham Lincoln. He really was born in a log cabin and got to the White House. But also Franklin Roosevelt. He got us out of a depression and into World War II. And afterwards, we became the richest, most powerful country in the world.
I was puzzled by this question because I didn't know if you meant best president of my lifetime or the best president of all. So I'll just say the best president of all, I agree, was Lincoln. He saved the Union. He kept the United States intact.